What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, a show that brings you the hottest gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, and that's the one, the only, Scott Savage. Scott, what's up, buddy?
I tried a few new games this morning, actually. Overwhelmed was one, and Midnight Fight Express, I believe.
I tried that. That one didn't click for me.
Oh, no? I remember you were excited prior to it drop, and I
Well, you know
thought,
what it
why not
was?
check it out?
It came off of, Seafood. That's what it was. And
Okay.
and then got into that one. I was like, no, I just want to go back to Seafood. And
Going from OTXO that we've just covered to this is, it's a really good transition.
yeah, well, speaking of, we just reviewed OTX, so make sure you swing by our YouTube channel, Inside the Game Official. Over there, you can check out our review, hear our thoughts on that particular game, and while you're there, you can also hit that sub button. We're also live over there right now, as well as kick.com/inside the game. And then if you can't join us live, make sure to hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, today's show, Alan Wake 2 is further along in development than we thought. Ubisoft is about to drop a ton of news tomorrow for the Division series. And Burning Shores is here and has some help for those afraid of deep water.
Oh, yeah. I've read into this, and I like what I see.
Me too, dude. It's super cool. Water's
There's
a
only
funny
a few
thing.
fears I have, really.
Oh, what do you? Well, what? Okay, what's your
Open
biggest
water.
fear? What's your biggest fear?
Well, I have to make a joke. There's open water and 50-foot light posts.
Well, fair enough. Some of us
If
know
you
what
know
that
me,
means.
you know. But
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I know. There's a few. My biggest fear is heights. I hate heights. Man, I hate heights.
well, that's a fair one, though. I think there's not much you can do about that as a human. I feel the same way about deep water.
Kid,
You
really?
don't know what's in there.
No, yeah, when you can't see it, especially here, right? Like over in like the sunny south, dude, you can see. It's clear.
Yeah.
Over here, it's nothing but murky waters over here,
Well,
buddy.
I think of that Star Wars quote, "There's always a bigger fish."
Yep. Yo, you should be watching Mandalorian right now. Woohoo!
No.
Dude, let's get into it. We're going to talk about Alan Wake 2. So why did you take us and take it away, buddy?
All right. Alan Wake 2 is, quote, pretty far along, according to a new report. This is by Mark Deschamps at comicbook.com. He goes on to say, it's been a bit since Remedy Entertainment revealed any new information about Alan Wake 2, and some fans could be forgiven for thinking it might have slipped to a 2024 release. However, it seems that might not be the case, as Xbox Era co-founder Special Nick recently addressed the game on Twitter, stating that he's heard the game is, quote, pretty far along, and that players can expect to see, quote, again, a true next-gen showcase, end quote. That would seem to line up with what has been revealed about the game in an investor's report back in February, and bodes very well for a release this year. The tweet from Special Nick can be found. It says, as Special Nick alludes to the tweet, Alan Wake 2 is being published by Epic Games. The first Alan Wake was a critical success, but initially struggled to find an audience, which is why it took so long for a sequel to be released. I was curious myself. The involvement of Epic Games could help Alan Wake 2 find a much bigger audience, and gamers that missed out on the first Alan Wake can always check out the remaster, which released on PlayStation and Xbox platforms in 2021. I actually completely missed that when it had released.
Really?
I want to go back. Yeah, it's been so long. I think I played the game when I was 17.
Yeah, it's definitely an older title. But now we're getting into the remakes again. Dude, just nonstop remakes and sequels. That's kind of how I feel this year. Last year ended. Last year ended with it, and this year's kind of continuing on with it. I don't know, a lot going on. Are you excited for Alan Wake 2?
I am, yeah. Alan Wake 1 I was one of those people who initially kind of waited on it.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what I was getting into, but I read a little bit of the excerpt. It's about a writer. Okay, whatever. I'm thinking of The Window, that movie from like 2000 something.
All right.
And it turned out to be very similar to that movie, actually. But everything in this writer's mind is coming to life and living it out. It just turned out to be amazingly better than I expected.
Fair enough. Do you think we get it this year?
I do actually think we get this one this year. I'm not certain who it is on Twitter that I've followed. One of the bigger heads.
Yep.
And they check in with updates quite often.
Nice. Well,
And it
that's
seems to
exciting.
be coming together nice and well. I haven't heard of any sort of troubles.
That's fair. Dude, I don't, it's just, if they're on track, that's great. I think Remedy is a unique studio. I think they're a crafty studio that kind of keeps bringing stuff around. You never quite know if it's going to hit, I think. They've got a vision and they're able to execute on it. But it's just a matter sometimes of being at the right spot at the right time to capture that audience. And sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't. Quantum Break kind of comes to mind for me, right?
That's a big one, yeah.
Dude, I enjoyed that game. For me, I thought it was great. And others were just like, the ending, we can skip the ending. But
I thought I waited on that for quite some time.
Yeah.
But I may have actually played it in 2016.
Do you remember the ending?
That would have been quite new. Very vaguely, not really, actually, which is a shame because keeping up with it episodically, it was nice.
It was cool. It had a different little twist, right? Because they brought a piece of it to the television world, and then you played the game, and then you kind of go back and forth. And then when you get to the end, it was just like, really? Oh, man, I hate that. That's the worst, right? You get to this point, building, and it just like fell flat on his face. So, but hopefully Alan Wake won't fall flat on his face, and you guys can enjoy your sequel because I'm not going to play that one.
No. I recall it being mild on the horror setting, but the more you read into it and the longer you get into the game, it ramps up.
It's the tension and creepy stuff that that's where I'm like, I'm out. I don't mind a good thriller, but
Well, you've slain a few zombies here and there.
Dude, The Last of Us, I'm still waiting on that multiplayer for Factions 2 or whatever Naughty Dog wants to call it. Yeah, I can't wait to see whatever that's going to be. But dude, what I can wait for is tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a cool day because Ubisoft will show off the future of the Division franchise. I want to see more. I want to know what's going on. There's a lot to unpack. What could possibly show up tomorrow? This is Tom Ivan over at VGC. Ubisoft will show off what's in store for us in the Division series during the franchise showcase this week. Quote, clear your calendar for April 20th because we're about to take you on a journey through the past, present, and future of the Division franchise, end quote, the publisher tweeted on Tuesday. In addition to revealing the Division 2's Year 5 roadmap, Scott. Year 5 for the Division 2. Dude, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a while.
What are they going to show us from the past? Is this kind of a celebratory thing?
I think we're kind of getting a bit of a mixed thing. So here's what's going on in the presentation for tomorrow, which we hope to be live. So make sure you come back 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll be going around here and checking out the Division. I'm a big fan. It's funny. The Division 1 hit, I was just like, it's okay. It's just whatever. Division 2 hits, it's okay. It's whatever. And then all of a sudden, wham. I don't know what happened, but I got hooked. And yeah, I played a ton of it myself, my buddy Kyle, right? Our friend Kyle, and then Nate. It was just go. And even we had Ben in on there at one point too.
Yeah, you get one of the Quins into a looter shooter, you get them all. You're locked in for the long haul after that.
Yeah, we're not anymore there, Kyle. We know that. Thank you though for checking in, buddy. That's a temporary thing. We're gonna see how this goes. We're over on Kick right now as well. So, but yeah, so tomorrow we'll be doing this, and dude, they got a couple other things going on here. Not only are we going to get the Year 5 roadmap and the game's new mode, Descent mode, which I've heard very little on, so I'm definitely curious to see what's going on there, but they're also going to be talking about the presentation of Division Resurgence, the project update on that, and a gameplay preview of the Division Heartland. This is the free-to-play take on the Division's next step. And I'm really curious. And then I was talking to Kyle today. I'm like, dude, they got this new mode coming out for the Division 2. Do you want to jump back in? And we're like, depends, right? Because we've been around for so long now playing the Division series that it's just more of the same, and then more of the same, and then more of the same. So when you kind of get into this loop of back and forth of just doing the same thing over and over and over again, dude, it doesn't stick for me, right? It just doesn't. I've been down that road before. I've been down this road before. I've done this again. I just don't want to do it again. You know what I mean?
Oh, Borderlands was the one that caught me that way, where it kind of became samey. And Borderlands 2, loved it. Borderlands 1, I kind of just ignored mostly.
Yep.
And then we get into the pre-sequel, ignored it again. Borderlands 3, I came back, but it was just more of the same, and there wasn't enough to kind of elevate it to any new level. And that was a shame.
No, absolutely.
Great game, but just there's only so much looter shooter I could do.
Well, I'm down for a good looter shooter, but I need it to hook me. And I'm hoping the Heartland version of the Division will be just that new hook, because I've been kind of playing a lot of stuff lately, waiting for that looter shooter. We've been getting into some roguelites, believe it or not, like a lot lately, and there's a lot of that going on, and I'm getting hooked onto that. But I want that looter shooter. We'll have to go out, grind for something, then get that, come back and, you know, upgrade it and tinker with it and do that kind of stuff. So not only are we going to hear about that, but we're also going to hear a little bit about their mobile side too, with Resurgence. This is the new mobile game that they have coming out for the Division, which I'm looking forward to checking out as well. My wife and I are going to be playing this. We're going to check it out and see how that goes. So we'll see what happens, but it was announced on July and billed as the first high-end AAA mobile looter shooter experience for Android and iOS devices. The free-to-play open world features a PvE campaign that is playable solo or co-op. Scott.
Good. Because I want to get in. If I'm going to get in, it has to be co-op. It's going to be a partner endeavor if I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But I have so many questions about the mobile, and I really want to know how big are they going to shoot for this release? Is it going to be kind of, Mario Run?
We will find out. It's supposed to be out by the end of 2024 or March-ish 2024. So
okay,
we'll see. We've still got a year yet to wait on that. I'm hoping we see Heartland this year, though. That's what I want to see. We're getting into year 5 for the Division 2. It's been around for quite some time, right? I'm ready to see what the next step is. Another game mode for the Division 2 is cool, but I want to see a whole new game, a new story, new characters to build off of, and another world to kind of go and explore, right? So we've been around for so long now playing the Division 1 and 2 that I'm ready for something new and refreshing. And I'm hoping that that's what we're going to see tomorrow at 2 p.m. We'll be back here live covering it and checking it out because fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed is kind of what's going to pull me back in because I'm on the fence of whether or not you want to jump back in. It's one of these, dude, the game is an investment, right? Like you are going to be there spending quite a bit of time, and we'll just see if it's fresh enough to pull us back in. But you know what's pulled me right in? Scott, do you know what's pulled me right back in? Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores is here, ladies and gentlemen. It is out today. We got our codes yesterday, so we'll be grinding away. We had to wait. Normally, PlayStation is able to give us codes a little bit early. Here's a little inside baseball. We weren't able, nobody, actually media-wide, wasn't allowed to get codes early because there needed to be a patch. And that is one of the key features as to what's going on here. So new accessibility features arrive in a patch that paves the way for the future's Burning Shores DLC. Tom Ivanov of VGC had this to say. The latest Horizon Forbidden West update has added several new accessibility features, including a thalassophobia mode. So, for those who don't... Is that what
that's called?
Yeah, it is, believe it or not. Dude, I had to check into this. I'm like, I'm going to butcher whatever this is.
Hey, I know, I gave you the terminology, the misophonia.
Yeah, well, it is.
It's something I'm aware of now because of you. And,
You're welcome. Kyle, I'm telling you, dude, next baseball game, I'm killing you on that game. I'm going to crush you on that. After sending me that text yesterday, I laughed. But yeah, basically this, thalassophobia is the intense fear of deep bodies of water. So, like, basically the ocean, or if we go out in our, like, we call it's Georgian Bay over here for us in Ontario, and it's like a deep, murky water, and you don't know what's there. So that's the fear, right? A lot of people fear that. So,
well, our water in Ontario as well is not always crystal clear. In fact, it's quite the opposite of that. But really, my fear is not intense, and it doesn't involve deep water. So maybe this doesn't necessarily hit me. I'm afraid of, it could be 1 foot deeper than I am tall, and that's too much for me.
Really? Dude,
I grew up in the water. I had one experience in Canada's Wonderland. Don't ever go too far into a wave pool.
Really?
I thought I was strong.
Not so strong, eh? Well, quote, this feature aims to ease thalassophobia symptoms by improving underwater ambient visibility and allowing you to breathe indefinitely, regardless of story progression, end quote, Guerrilla Games said. The mode is also being introduced alongside with other accessibility features, including enlarging subtitles, auto pickup, color blinding settings, auto camera, navigation assist in focus mode. Focus mode is a little cumbersome, still is. It's just dude, the way
I'm not quite certain what that is.
Focus mode is when she uses her focus, right? And it starts scanning the area.
Oh, the UB vision.
Yeah, more or less. That's their eagle sense. It's but it slows everything down to like almost a crawl. So you're trying to pan around and just go, And I'm like, man, just move a little bit, Aloy. Move faster. But
Maybe
either way.
it just hints. Maybe it hints interactive items, kind of in the way that ODST does Halo.
It does, yeah. You see little pickups of, like grapple mode stuff, or grapple locations, and like other things you can highlight to climb, and then other like indicators of here's a box of like a chest, go loot that, or little tidbits of info like notes scattered around the world. But in patch 1.21 also adds support for Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores expansion, which launches today. It will introduce a hazardous new location for players to explore, plus new characters and machines to encounter. Among the new machines is the Water Wing, a medium-sized flying machine that can dive deep underwater. Scott, dude,
that's really cool to me. The idea of like flying and then underwater seamlessly.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know if we can do that in real life.
I do. So
I bet the U.S. military has something that does it.
Yeah, probably.
Perhaps
so.
It's the same creature that we now know as the Water Wing.
maybe. So, dude, I jumped in. I'm probably about 2 hours in. I was talking to Steve this morning. He is like 5. So Steve and I are on the team are reviewing. Yeah, he played a lot yesterday. But we'll be grinding through this and I've been having a great time so far. I got nailed by the Tremor Tusk. It just crushed. It was him and like, dude, there's so many other machines around the same time. You couldn't go for just the one machine because I was getting nailed by everything else. I was like, wow, this is brutal.
There's one thing I wish Horizon had, and that's the death animations from Tomb Raider. As brutal as that is,
yeah.
And I actually like Aloy as a character. It's not about that. I just want these giant machines to
absolutely
be brutal.
Kyle says you have a fear of hearing people eat. Yes, that's what Scott says. I have that phobia.
That is misophonia. Yeah. It can be it's the sounds of things. It's basically unnecessary noise.
Yeah. So that crunch yesterday just about sent me up the wall. But either way, Burning Shores is here. We'll be talking about it in our game releases for today. Dude, it's only $20. So
that's a surprise for myself, really.
I was expecting to be around $40, to be honest. So it is a healthy chunk of a map that we're crawling around. Like, dude, and it's all surrounded by water. So I do appreciate the fact that they've opened up this accessibility feature for the thalassophobia people, so that they're able to go in and enjoy the underwater portion of it, because it is so heavily focused in this area of water. Dude, it is gorgeous under the water. I've already gone down there and gathered some resources and stuff. It's beautiful. And then you got the machines that are swimming through it too. It's just like, the tension, right? The tension of underwater. I
need you to play with that photo mode more.
Okay, so I posted a photo yesterday. Lance Riddick, as we all know, has passed away. Rest in peace.
That's right.
And it was a nice little journey to open up the sequence to getting into Burning Shores by talking to him. So yeah, I tweeted out yesterday. I spoke with an old friend. Man, it was so good to see that character back. And rumor has it, and this is just from what I've been kind of poking around and hearing, that he's supposed to lead the third game. So I'm very curious if that's how, right? Like, so then Steve and I are talking, they're going to lead the third game here with Lance Riddick's character, Silence. Dude perished away, and we passed away and we lost him, which is heartbreaking to not only the industry, but like the TV industry and the film industry, right? Like, he was so diverse in what he was doing with his craft that we've lost. Absolutely, right? We lost a massive star. And then going into the third game, like, if you haven't played the sequel, the Horizon Forbidden West, you need to finish Horizon Forbidden West before you can actually start the DLC. So there's a little bit of information for you there that has to be completed, because it continues on right after that. Which I honestly, now that I'm in it, I really don't know if it's really that necessary that you had to, but they make you do that. Guerrilla is making you finish that first, which is understandable either way.
They want you to appreciate the full game.
Yeah, well, and man, like, what a game! We could easily go back and do a whole whack of side quests and stuff that I have yet to even touch, just due to time. But over there, it's, man, to see him take over for the third game would be an interesting little twist. I don't know if that's possible.
Interesting. But yeah, no, I do. I really appreciate the respect that everybody's had industry-wide regarding him and all the roles he's been in, to include him in Burning Shores for one. But
Awesome.
it's really my thoughts have to turn to the family. I want to know how they feel, and it would really inform my my opinion on whether he should be in the third.
Dude, if they're okay with it, and let his...
I can understand it both ways, really.
Oh, yeah, me too, right? But if they were able to allow him to lead and let his legacy live on within the game, no, man, what a tribute, right? Like, what a tribute they could pay forward.
I hope it's just real and we're not simulating. No use of AI. We don't need deep fakes. I don't like that.
Well, that's just it, right? Because chances are they haven't done all of his lines yet. So how do they get those lines in there? And what are they going to do in order to incorporate that properly? But I don't know. But continue on with PlayStation 5 news. PS5 console sales continue to surge. Mike Straw over at Insider Gaming had this to say: if you want proof that PlayStation 5 has been easier to purchase, look no further than the recent sales data coming out of Europe. Per GamesIndustry.biz, the latest reports state that the PS5 has seen a 369% year-over-year sales increase in Europe. Wow. In total,
like we have that production issue solved.
PS5 sales in March were up by 5 times the amount sold in March 2022. If you want proof of that PS5 has been easier to purchase, look no further than the recent... Dude, it's in here twice. That's weird. As far as other consoles are concerned, right? Weird. Q1... I don't know. I think that might have been me. The Nintendo Switch sales actually fell 18% year over year, while Xbox Series X and S were down 10%. Still, thanks to the rise of PlayStation console sales have increased by 41% from Q1 2022, with 1.5 million systems sold. March alone saw 570,000 units sold across Europe, not counting the UK. In brackets. Oh. Dude, PS5 still continuing to dominate the market.
I suppose UK isn't part of the EU anymore, are they?
I guess not, man.
I guess that makes... It appears to be that way, but everybody was burning to buy a PlayStation and just couldn't find one for the longest time.
Yep.
But it's interesting to see that Nintendo's has started to taper off, and I wonder if that's just purely because everybody who wanted one has one now, or two. I was speaking to somebody at another job. She has 3.
Oh man, you got the Switch, you got the Switch Lite, you got the OLED Switch.
She's considering the OLED Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, a lot of people are, right? I think a lot of people are looking
at this point, why not?
I guess, but I just give me the next Switch. I'm ready to move on in my world of the Switch. But the
Switch
PS5,
2 XL, please.
That's dude, will Xbox ever catch up?
Ooh, in console sales or in mobile?
Console sales, not mobile. Get out of here, mobile.
Well, now I'm thinking of competing with the Switch, but
yeah, that's fair.
In console sales, I don't know if they've publicated theirs, if they've published the numbers yet, and that leads me to believe it's not going so well.
No, right? You only boost your numbers when you are the one who's leading, and Xbox has never really showcased their numbers because they've never led. Right, like
there's a soundbite for you for the console wars.
Well, yeah, not the whatever, dude. I'm on my Xbox every day. You know, I love Xbox. I'm an Xbox fan. I'm a PlayStation fan, and at the end of the day, I die hard as a gamer. That's just it. I don't care what we play on, as long as it's a good game. I want in, and it's that simple. I've always stood behind that. But at the same time, you gotta wonder from the standpoint when they're trying to purchase trying to purchase Activision, like we can get back into that whole conversation again. Will that be enough to boost that sales? It's not over, dude. It is not over.
Supposedly next week is some sort of verdict being rendered, but I've heard that a couple times this year.
yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But what we can see, Scott, is a couple games out today. What do we have, buddy?
We have Horizon Forbidden West, Burning Shores, that releases on the PlayStation 5, and Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters on the Switch and PlayStation 4. No Xbox for that.
But it's Final Fantasy, and it's a Square title, so the fact that it's not on Xbox is no surprise.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Final Fantasy 16 is just around the corner. No Xbox. Exclusive to PlayStation.
It's a bit of a drag, really. I need a PlayStation.
It is. But just like that, Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You can always join us live over on YouTube and Kick, Inside the Game and Inside the Game Official. When you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.